the Republican Party, with help from the Trump re-election campaign, they've pulled out all the stops. They are essentially doing everything they can to make it as hard as humanly possible for people to vote this year. And this has been an ongoing battle that the Republican Party has been fighting. It is not one that just popped up in the last few months or even in the last year. This is a battle that the Republican Party has been waging against American voters for decades. But it all kind of culminated this year, fighting vote by mail in the middle of a pandemic, taking away drop-off points for absentee ballots in populous counties, leaving only one in there. Filing lawsuits trying to stop all of the Democratic efforts to make it easier to vote this year. Those are things the Republican Party has done. Those are things the Republican Party has done in the last couple weeks here. But even in spite of all of these efforts by the Republican Party to prevent people from voting, so far in the 2020 presidential election, 4 million people have already voted. And not just presidential election, by the way. This is the 2020 election in general. 4 million people have already voted. At this point, in 2016, 75,000 had voted. 75,000 versus 4 million. 4 million is a greater margin than that by which Hillary Clinton won the popular vote in 2016. Projections right now say that we will have roughly, based on the early voting numbers and the fact that this is still happening, there are still hundreds of people every day showing up at the early voting places in battleground states. I'm talking about Virginia, Wisconsin, Michigan. People showing up early by the hundreds to vote. People are posting videos and photos on social media of lines wrapped around buildings because people want to get in an early vote. So projections at this point are that we could have 160 million people voting in this year's election, 65% of the voting age public. That would be a record. That would be a record for modern America. A record for anyone who's alive's lifetime. We haven't seen that anybody in our lifetime. 65%. Hey, it'd be great if it was, 100%, but you take what you can get. More people are voting this year. And what really gets me, what always gets me about this, most of these people, are not showing up because they want a certain thing from their candidate. They're showing up because they hate Donald Trump that much. That's what this is. These people want this crazy man out of the White House so bad that they're not taking any chances. They're not saying, I'll risk it and go on election day. I know the lines are pretty low. No, they're like, screw it. I'm going to go stand in line in the beginning of October, still in the middle of a pandemic, with my mask on, socially distanced. And I'm going to wait 2 or 3 hours if I have to, but I'm going to vote. I'm going to vote, and I'm going to make sure this man is out. And I'm going to vote and make sure that Republicans know that in spite of their best efforts to suppress my vote, I got out there and I did it. And that is the important takeaway from all of this. It's not just good, stick it to Donald Trump. It's not just maybe we can replace the Senate. It is fighting back against the suppression. Because if we don't do that, they've won. The suppression efforts will have been successful at that point. But if you get out there and you jump those hurdles that they have put up, then you win, no matter what the outcome.